California, stay away from here. Stay away from here now. Don't come in here. Whatever you hear, stay away. John Doe has the upper hand.
What's in the box?
Greetings, everyone. Steve, Paracords of Kindness. How you doing today? Hopefully your weaving's been happy. Okay, welcome to another edition of What's in the Box. Don't look at the box, man. What's in the box? But, as always, before we get to the box, let me talk at you. Okay. For anybody who's new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon. You know the routine. I'm going to tell you what these videos are. It's usually I order supplies and I show the colors. I show what I've ordered, talk about them, where I got them, that kind of thing. Kind of, yeah, product review, sort of, not really, if you want to look at it that way. But I usually just talk about what's going on in my small corner of the paracord world. Okay. I'll show you what I've made this week. Now, some of this stuff might be a repeat of last week because I'll go ahead and tell you, I have had a busy week, a very busy week. Can't go into all the details, but I have been contacted by two separate organizations for a opportunity. We'll just put it that way. I'll leave it at that. One I can't actually talk about at all. One of them, I had an owner of a jewelry store contact me. So, we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see what comes out of that. I made a couple of sales already too from that. From that has already fruition of some sales. Hopefully it will be more. But with all that said, let's see. What else have I done? Oh, I guess I need to start off like this. I get all thinking ahead of myself. Shameless plug. My channel, I can shamelessly plug my videos, right? Here, let me get the light over here. Stitched Saturn. I didn't do the stitching on the side, but I'll leave the tutorial link, cards, description below. This one, I showed this bracelet last week. I don't remember if I put the tutorial up before last week was What's in the Box video or before. Either way, this, I talk about this in the video tutorial, where the idea and where it all came from. Still don't know if this thing actually has a name or not. But I've just been calling it, well, this one is stitched, so it's a stitched Solomon's Flickering Flame. You know, kind of, I did it in colors that look kind of resembled the flame because that's what I was seeing. I figured the first one I would make, I would do in those colors, so people would hopefully see why I named it that. Or, I don't want to try to take credit for this, but if somebody knows the name of this, has seen this before with a name, please share the name, but more so, a link to the tutorial or the pictorial or whatever. That way I can actually go look at it. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to steal credit for somebody else. Nothing like that. Don't want to do all that. But I will leave the link, description, or cards description below. Okay, with that said, always check below. Always check my descriptions. I try to stay on top of, if I mention it in this video, and I tell you I'm going to put the link down there, I try to put it back down there. But before I upload this video, I go back and rewatch it. And I make notes of all the links that I specifically say are going to be down there. That way I can get them in there. Now, I might miss one here and there. But then I always, if while I'm doing that, I might make a note of something else that I didn't specifically mention that I throw down there also. So, always check down below for the links. Okay, now, with all that said, let's see. I got a lot to talk about this week. Like I said, I've had a lot going on. I haven't made that much because of these two opportunities that came up. They caused me to kind of shift gears. But let's see. I'll show you what I've done this week. Let's see. I told you I made this one, right? I made another one. Now these are all for cut. Well, not all of them, but the one. Let's see. This one right here is for a customer. What is it? The core strands is charcoal gray. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. I got it as far out as it'll go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. There we go. But so what did I do? I used a silicone buckle. Like I said, it's a steel buckle with a silicone coating as opposed to being painted. That causes more of a non-reflective. See how that one gets a glare on it? Not really, not so much. But this one, you don't get that glare on it. There's that silicone for you. But 3/4 inch or 20 millimeter. But I put it charcoal gray, black, and the anthracite down the middle, and the stitching is smoke gray. Kind of give it that monochromatic look. These are real nice bracelets. It's not too hard. It's not too complicated. But there's that one. Okay, let's see. That one goes. Let me put this one back over here because I have to package that one up. Okay, let's see. I showed you this one, I think, that I did. What is this? Sanctified endless chainmail falls. Well, I've seen it called so many different things, but I made this one. All right, and I had a couple of people want some, so I got them made. Let's see. I'll show you the first one. The first one is black, and the center and the stitching are anthracite, really dark gray. But there's enough contrast between that anthracite and the black that that little itty bitty piece of stitching can be seen. That's why I chose that. All right. Okay. I did another one similar, same colors or color orientation, just or cord orientation, but in completely different colors. This one is Stealth Olive, which is a polyester cord. Woof! This one was a beast to work on right here. And the center is spinach green, and the stitching is moss or moss green. Now, like I say, on my channel, come follow me on this journey. Good, bad, ugly, mistakes and all, and I'll show you. I'm not perfect. Some of you will see it off the get-go. Some of you may not. Right there is the mistake. Customer said, that's fine. I said, I'll give you a discount. I said, I'll remake it. Or he said, no, don't worry about it. I said, okay, I'll give you a discount on it. So, there we go. And I put it on a, 20 millimeter silicone buckle also. 3/4 inch. Okay, now here's the one that everybody likes. This one, when I posted it, I already got an order for one. And I'm about halfway finished with it. Well, halfway finished with weaving it out of the stitching. That's another story. But this one right here, these are these colors I use quite often. It's a brushed brass buckle in order to accentuate or bring out that gold stitching. But the color is midnight blue, and then the chain is in smoke gray. And that thing, man, that thing looks good. Just those colors look good, and just those three colors, if you put them in the right place on the right bracelet, it looks great. But there's that one. Okay, let's get that one out of the way. Alright, that's all the ones. Yeah, I got to package all those up. Okay, let's see. Get this one out of the way. I showed you that one. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I've showed you these in the past. I made these two. These I made for my other half. I'll show you these. Here, let me do, well, I'll show you when yeah, hang on a second. I'll show you this. Just give me a second. I'll show you what I'm talking Okay, I made, let's see. I made these two. I may have showed you this. This is just a modified jawbone, modified shark jawbone. What is this? Goldenrod, and I think this one is called the quarter mil. I think it's called honeycomb, but it's like golden yellow with cream diamonds. I think is what it is. I think it's called honeycomb. Now, I know there's a cord out there called honeycomb. I'm not quite sure if this is actually it or not. I've got a few of these diamond pattern, cream and gold and white and yellow, you know, and I can't remember which is which unless I actually go over there and look in my inventory. But it's got this, you know, I put it on a yellow buckle, and it's got this little flower bead on it. Right? It's not the most stable thing, but it looks good, you know. Okay, now I'll show you here. I did another one too. I'll show you this. This is a stitched Ultron. My wife really liked the way this weave looked when I first made it. She's like, ooh, I like that one. She said, I just like the way that weave looks. So I did it in some bright, girly looking colors. Put it on a, what is this? This is red orange. Like red/orange buckle. And then, what is this? That's international orange. And then again, I think that's that same, yeah, I think it's the same cord in the middle. I'm not sure if it's the honeycomb or not. And then I did it in canary yellow stitching. And I put one of them orange bead things on it. Now what it is, I'll show you this. I get these from Paracord EU, and I don't use them very much. But that one right there, it's a little bit more secure on there as opposed to the way it is on this one. It's a little, but they're on there. I mean, they're not going to come off. It's just the nature of the way I've woven it through the back side of that thing. It's a little bit more secure on this one. But, you know, you can see it kind of sticks up or whatever. But these are labeled on the Paracord EU site as slider beads. Now, I'm not quite sure what the intent of, you know, what you would actually use them for. I really don't know. But I saw them and I looked at them. And I ordered a few of them at first. Just, you know, like one of this color, one of that color. You know, actually, I think it was like 2 or 3 of a few colors. And I said, I'll get them and see if I can't do something with them, whatever. I don't know. Let me get them, see how big the slot is. I'll show you what they look like here. That way you can understand what I'm trying to say. The way they're made, it's kind of like a shank button, if you know what a shank button is. If you don't know, here, let me see. I think I've got one of these shank buttons over here. Shank button. You see them. If you're not a seamstress, a tailor or something, you might not know what I'm saying, what I mean when I say a shank button. But you'll see these, you know, on paracord sites. And I've been in some actual, like, textile stores, fabric stores, looking for these things. And most often, the shank, the hole in the shank is not big enough for 550 paracord. But this is what's known as a shank button. It's a, you know, this one was, what is that, a I forget how you say it, Molon Labe, the little triangle on like a Spartan shield. It's not really showing up because of the glare. But we see the back side of this thing. I can't keep it in my hands, it's so small. But we see how it's got that piece sticking off the back, and that's like got a hole in it, right? That's the shank, and this is known as a shank button. Now, don't, any of you people out there, don't get triggered and go shanking and shiving nobody, right? But no, it's called a shank button, and that's a shank. And basically what it is it's a button, and you have to sew it onto the garment, but it doesn't have holes in it. So the shank allows you to attach it without you having to actually put cord through and have holes in the front. And a lot of times these will be made in that hole. Like, you go in a fabric store and try to find these, the hole's going to be real small. It's not big enough to put a piece of 550 through. Now, you'll see some of these, Amazon and other places, that they're actually, I'm going to assume that they've been specifically made with that big hole for paracord. You know, to be used with paracord. I got this off of Amazon. Set of, I think it was a set of, yeah, it's a set of 2. Here, speaking of which, I'll show you the bracelet I made. What did I do with it? Man, I got so many bracelets. I got some. I have expanded my display thing where I can hang them up. But I still got, yeah, here it is. I still got some that are like in boxes. They just, you know, you make them, I toss it in a box. But here's one I made. You know, it's a double stitched trilobite is all it is. What is this? Maroon, anthracite, and smoke gray. And then I put the bead on it. And all it is when I did, the way this is done is when you go to set up your 4-strand core, you have to thread it through the bead then as you're setting it up. So when you start weaving, your bead is basically, I started weaving, like I say, I always start at the male end and weave downward. I orientate every bracelet that way, for the most part. Now, some of my older ones may not be like that, but once I realized, yeah, let's just do this, standardize it that way, less mistakes, less potential for mistakes. But when you do it, you thread the cords through there, and it just kind of rests down here on the 2 center core strands of your trilobite. And it just rests down here until you weave and you get to where the center of the bracelet is going to be. And then you slide it up into place, and then you just continue weaving around it. That's how it's done. That's how I did it anyway. I'm not saying that's how it's done, but that's how I did it. Right? So it's attached to the 2 core strands. And you don't see, if you look right there, you can see that little glint of silver where it's attached to them core strands, right? But if you look at it, you see how far that shank is sticking out from the back of the button. It's a lot of room. Okay, these slider beads, it's long and flat. It doesn't stick out as much. When I seen the pictures of it, you know, it showed you the back side and it told you how wide, and it gave the dimensions. I was like, I don't know if I can use that or not. We'll see, blah, 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 blah. And I got it, and I've made a couple of bracelets with them for my wife, kind of seeing if any of that, you know, would work or whatever. But it's called a slider bead. I got a bunch of different, most of them are like pastel colors. They got white, black, and then they got some that are like an antique brass kind of look, you know, different finishes on them. But most of the ones I got are these pastels. Okay. And like I said, a slider bead. If you know what this was actually made for, like in the Paracord or the maker world, you know, maybe you shop at Paracord EU and you know what that is most often used for, please explain that to me. Because I was like, well, what would that be for? It's got to be, I don't know, I guess you could put it on like one of these dog collars or something like that. But it'd be the same thing I've done, right? I'm just thinking maybe there's a more specific way of using it than I did. I just kind of sat there and went, okay, how can I use this? And that's what I come up with, right? Okay, so I'll show you these because that's some of what's in the box. All right, but I figured I'd show you what it looks like. But the thing is, this is what I was going to say. These things, man, the shank on this one sticks out real far. So there's enough of it there that you can attach it to them core strands, and still have room to get the weave in between the back side of the button and the cord. You see what I'm saying? There's enough clearance in there. Well, this one, you can't do that. I don't know, maybe I need to try that. It might work. I might be able to put one of these on a trilobite. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's what... I have to try that. No. I have to try that. Okay. Let me get this up out of the way. But obviously, I got some of these coming. Here's like the ones I got. I don't have very many, but I've ordered a lot more of them. Let's see. Put that back where it goes. Put this back over here. Put this back in here too. Oh, here. I'll show you this. Just since I'm on the subject. Here's one. I don't know what they label it. I know it's turquoise, but I want to say it's like antique turquoise on antique brass. It's the same thing, but it's kind of got in the little grooves of the petals. They've kind of put some turquoise on there. Now it's on the back too, but you know you're not going to see it on the back. The way I used it anyway, you won't see it. Yeah, there you go. Get a little bit more focus of it. But I got a couple of those. I haven't used any of those yet. My wife is a turquoise fan, which I'm about to get to that. Okay. You know, I ordered, I don't know, a week or two ago on one of these, I showed a color that I ordered. It was called Sea Green. Okay, she's got some furniture in the bed. She likes turquoise and those colors in that area of the color wheel, if you will. She likes those colors. Okay, she's got some furniture in her bedroom. Yeah, I mentioned it. I said, this looks like it's going to match. I said, I'm going to go in there and look. Well, I went in there and looked, and guess what? It doesn't match. What I bought, the sea green was too green. It looked like green. Okay, then I ordered, last week I showed you what was labeled at Paracord EU as dark turquoise. I got it, and I looked at it, showed it on camera, and I was like, yeah, this looks good. Well, after I made the video, I went in there and looked, and I'm like, no, it doesn't match. It's too dark. And when I got back out here to shop, I started looking, because I've got a few colors kind of in that, like I say, in that area of the color wheel, a few of those type colors. I started looking, and I realized, because I'll tell you, Paracord EU has it labeled as dark turquoise, and it is a polyester cord. Not saying there's anything wrong with polyester, just pointing out the fact that it is polyester. But I come out here and I started looking, and I realized it's the same color as a cord I've ordered here in the States called teal. It's the same color. Not teal blue, not teal green, because I've seen that. It was simply teal, right? Polyester cord also. And I looked at them, I'm like, well, these are the same cords. But here's that cord, the dark teal, and it shows up. What you're seeing on that camera, I said this last week, what you're seeing on that camera is not what I'm seeing with my naked eye. It looks a little darker and a little bit more green than what that camera's seeing. The camera's showing it as a lighter and more blue. That's okay. I'm just letting you know. I put it on what they call a turquoise buckle. Right? But I put one of these beads on here also. Now this bead, the way this one is made, it's the same type of back as these, but it's orientated slightly different, and it goes, this bead works perfectly with this weave. It goes on there, and it sits. I was worried if it was going to want to sit, we say it has an oval shape, I was worried if it was going to want to sit kind of at an angle, and that wouldn't look right. Neat, clean, tight, right? It wouldn't look like right. But I did it, and it's on there. it's pretty daggone secure. It doesn't go back and forth or whatever. But, and it looks good on there. And the thing is, yeah, that was kind of a, I just say it like it is, that was a booger. That was a pain to weave that in there, because what I did is 3 passes of black are going through there. You know, so you have to do 1 repetition of weave while weaving the black through that slot. But you can't tighten the knot up, and then you got to do another one and pass it through there. Then you got to do another one and pass it through there again. And I had all this, that knot was like this because I couldn't tighten it up just yet. I had to get it in, get it placed, and then I had to start individually tightening up them strands. And yeah, it's because it was the first time I had done it. That's why. If I just keep doing it, I'll get better at it, no problem. But I had to sit there and make sure, am I doing it right? Have I got my overs and my unders? Because nothing looked right because it was this big, you know. Nothing was tightened up. But it turned out really, really well. But it's dark turquoise. It's the same exact color as teal. What? Oh, that's rainbow. I'm trying to see if I have. I've got some of that quote-unquote teal around here somewhere in my scrap bucket next to me, I'm sure. But I'm not going to waste time trying to find it in that scrap bucket. But there's that one. Okay. Now, let's see. I did this one right here. This one, I've got a friend that lives in Belgium. And like most of our maker friends in Europe, they specialize in dog collars. I mean, there's a lot of people here in America do it, but for the most part, you don't see a lot of makers in Europe, mainland Europe anyway. At least for me, I may be wrong, but I don't see a lot of makers on mainland Europe making bracelets. Most of them are doing dog collars, right? That's the majority of what I see come from the makers over there. But I've got a friend in Belgium, she does dog collars. And, you know, dog collars, especially for like large breed dogs, you're going to do weaves that are wider. Because you wouldn't put a little tiny cobra weave on, you know, a Rottweiler collar. It's disproportionate. There's that word again. Buckles, sizing. Oh, see? But it would be disproportionate. So most of these collars, now on a small breed dog, no problem. But on these larger dogs, you're going to want a wider collar, right? So I've seen some of these tutorials and I've looked at them. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. That's just, I mean, I imagine that's going to take a while to do. Even if I was making it bracelet size, 8, 9, 10 inches, as opposed to dog neck size, dog collar size, you know, 18, 19, 20 inches, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what, you know, dog collar necks are. Like I said, never made one. But I got a friend in Belgium, she makes them. And she posted pictures. She had one, she said, she called it Fuego and then Aqua. Fire and water, right? The fire one was all reds and orange, and the Aqua, the water one, was a bunch of cool looking blues, cool as in temperature, and I want to say there was a white in there also, right? And I told her, I said, man, that looks good, just the weave, but then, you know, the fact that she did fire and water and, you know, the colors she chose, they look great, but the weave, it was just, oh man, it was awesome. And she told me, she sent me the tutorial, and she said, you can make it into a bracelet. I'm like, oh. I said, is that a challenge? She said, you take it how you want, whatever. So I ended up, that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Finally sat down the other day and I had nothing to do, and I said, let me try this thing. So I had to modify it here and there and to do, you know, the setup and all this kind of stuff. I modified the way it was set up and everything, but I ended up making it. It's called Nela', Nella, I guess is how you'd say it, Nella's Braided Corner. And it's a modification of a bracelet or a weave called Mika, M-I-K-A. Mika's Eye Catcher. From what I'm understanding, Mika's Eye Catcher was the original, and then the one I'm going to show you is a modification. It's called Nella's Braided Corner. And the core strands are black, and then it has this, the extra cord is black also. The one I chose to put it that way. That way it'd have a black stripe going down it. I love this Imperial Red, Fox Orange, and black. And this one's got 8 working ends. So, you know, it's definitely not a beginner weave. It's not that hard once I got started. It wasn't that hard once I realized, oh, okay, I see what's going on now, and just do it. It's just the fact that it's got 8 cords. It takes you a little longer. And, you know, you got to, you know, I could see doing one of these in, like, all black. You know, all black. Yeah, you realize that's going to cost you extra. I often, can you do it in all black? Yeah, I can do it in all black. It's going to cost you extra, though. Oh. Seeing that look on their faces, probably says, yeah, it's going to take me longer to do it. I have to slow down and make sure I'm good, grabbing the right cord and putting it in the right place. You know, and I've heard people have all kind of different methods to doing that. Some will use, they'll take like a piece of tape and, you know, put a number or a color and attach to the very end of the cord. Or I've seen people, electrical tape, different colors of electrical tape. You know, however, they'll do something like that at the very end of the cord so they can identify it. Well, I'm like, well, that's great, and that's a good idea, but for me, that doesn't do me any good. Because when I'm weaving, I've got all them working ends just hanging there. And they might be off my lap, over my shoulder. I mean, I took pictures of me weaving this for something that's I got going on. And I had the cords, you know, I'd weave it because they were so long, because I didn't know how long to cut the cords. So, you know, I overestimated. And I overestimated a lot. But that's okay, though. I wrote it all down. Now I know I don't need that much next time. And when I remake it, I know how much I need. Right? So it was a one-time waste. But this wasn't actually a waste because there was quite a amount left over. My scrap was quite significant, so it can definitely be reused for, you know, like a lanyard or something. You could make I guess you could make maybe some sort of bracelet out of it, but a lanyard or something like that you could do. But, I had the cords thrown over my shoulder on this, whatever. But I took some pictures of it. I forgot where I was going. I lost my train of thought. But, yeah, that's where the ends of the cord, you know, where they'd put the little different color electric tape, you know, somehow attach safety pins. I've heard people sticking a safety pin through it with something on it, identifying. Well, that's great, but the ends of the cord, they're over my shoulder, they're all over the place, and I'm not weaving that. I'm weaving up here, where it's in front of my face and all them cords are coming off. So, and I'll grab the cord and stick it through, and then I'll pull it through. I'm not looking at the end of the cord. You see what I'm saying? So to me, that's not a very, I mean, if that's what it takes for you, go right ahead. But for me, that's not going to do me any good. It's going to slow me down. I will just stop and look, because once you do a little bit of it, of any bracelet, like I've said in the past, when you the first part of the weave and the last part of the weave, this one just happened to work out that it's even. The little angled pieces were spaced perfectly for the way I sized this. Now, I'll be honest, I sized it a little too big. Wasn't sure about the sizing, and I ended up getting it a little too big. I thought it was going to be thicker than it actually is, so I sized it a little too big. But I wrote all that down, so next time I can make it right. But, like I've said, when you first start a weave, it's not going to look the same at the beginning of the weave and the end of the weave as it does in the meat of the weave, right? because your cords, the cord strands aren't laid flat. Everything's close and bunched together at that buckle. But once you get, 2, 3, 4 weaves into it, everything flattens out, lays, and orientates, and it looks great. When you get to that, if you can just struggle through to get to that point when you're using like all black or all the same color, it doesn't matter. The color's very similar. Once you get to that point, it's easy because all your cords are orientated where they're coming out after you tie the repetition. After you tie the knot, they're all coming out. And by then, you've done got the pattern and the mechanics of how to do it. So when you got a cord coming out here, a cord coming out this way, 2 coming out straight, you see what I'm saying? And it's easy. I don't have to look at the ends of the cord. Does that make sense? But yeah, I'll show you something I thought was neat about this. If you look, you see how these pieces are angled. Well, what it's doing is taking the orange, black, and red that's on this side and it's crossing it over to this side. Well, up under it, what you don't see is the red, black, and orange on this side is crossing over this way, right? So what ends up happening is right here, there's a ridge. Now, I'm going to show you the profile of this bracelet if you hadn't noticed it yet. It makes it look like, instead of being round or cylindrical, I should say, I guess is the better term, instead of being cylindrical, this one's kind of oblong, but instead of being cylindrical for the most part, this one has like an octagonal shape. It's flat. It's because of those ridges. I just thought that was really cool. But I'm gonna make another one of these. I got a customer. I'll just tell you, I've got a man who is a collector of paracord bracelets, and I'm on commission. I just make stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. I'm like, okay. And basically gives me free range. I know what he likes. I know the colors he likes. I know the style of weaves he likes, that kind of stuff. And, I'll show him, hey, what do you think about that? He's like, oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, I'll make you some. And I just pick the colors. I already know what colors he likes. I vary it up from time to time, but, yeah. But I'm going to make him a couple of these. I may try to make one in all black. Then again, I may just get tangled up on that. You may end up coming out here to my shop one day and finding me hanging from the rafters. I done tangled myself up in a noose or something by accident because I got so many cords flipping and wailing and slinging around that I end up hanging myself. That's a joke. But, yeah, there's that one. Okay, now, let's see. I'm going to show you this. This right here is kind of the package. What's in the box deal. I made this for a while back for my wife. And I may have showed everybody this, but I don't know. I made one of these a while back, and she saw it. And she was like, now I made it in, like normal, one solid color, because it's one long cord. And she saw it, and she's like, ooh. She's like, that's different. I'm like, yep. I said, this is not your orthodox, normal paracord bracelet. I said, this is more of like knitting or crocheting or something. A conquistador. If you've never seen one of these, if you don't know how to do one, they're not that hard once you figure it out. And sadly, some of the tutorials out there are not the best. And I don't have one for it. I don't have a tutorial on how to do this. Maybe I should make one. It's not a bad idea. Because I'm coming up, got to make some. But anyway, my wife said something. She's like, ooh, that's interesting. I like that one. And I said, you mean make you one? She said, yeah, could you do it? I said, no, it's got to be done in one color. She said, ooh. But then I started thinking, I've got some cord. Now, this was cord that she bought. Like I said, when she goes out shopping, as women tend to do, if she's in, you know, wherever, Walmart, sometimes she goes to Hobby Lobby because she does some craft stuff. She's a maker, but not like me. Now, I'm not saying she's not good. She just doesn't do what I do as much as I do what I do, you know. But she'll go to Hobby Lobby or like the Dollar General or the Dollar Tree or whatever. And if she sees some of that cheap Chinese, most likely Chinese paracord made there, and she sees a color that looks interesting, she'll buy it. And, you know, it's usually like 18 feet, 16 feet, 18 feet, 20 feet. It's not much. You know, you might get a bracelet or two out of it. And, you know, she'll buy it, and she'll bring it home, and she'll say, here, I brought you a prize. I'm like, hey, thanks. Great, cheap cord. But she knows it's cheap cord, but I'll hang on to it, and if something comes up, I may use it on something. But she bought some, and I didn't, at the time, when I made this bracelet, I didn't know where she got, I couldn't remember where she got it. I told her, I said, I think you got this at Walmart. I said, I don't remember. But I made her a conquistador out of it. And what it is rainbow cord, meaning like every, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 inches, it changes colors within the cord itself. So you'll have like 8, 9, 10 inches of yellow, and you'll have 8, 9, 10 inches of such and such, and then you'll have 8, 9, 10 inches of, you know, it changes as you go down. Well, the thing is, that cord, no matter what colors are on it, but the way that it changes down through there is perfect for making conquistadors, because you can use that one cord which has multiple colors. Therefore, your conquistador ends up having a multicolored look, right? Now, I've shopped around because I did that, and she ended up wanting me to make one for her mother's birthday, and I did. And the only stuff I could find online was neon rainbow Paracord Planet, which I bought and I used, no problem. But what she had was more of a pastel rainbow. It was from, come to find out, it was from Walmart. Why? Because I was in there the other day. What did I do with that? Yeah, here it is, right here. I was in there the other day, and I've seen they had one little bundle of this, 18 feet, and I bought it, right? But you see how it changes colors, like, let's see, right there. How it changes colors. About every 8, 9, 10 inches or so, it changes to the next color, right? But there's 18 inches. Well, when I made this conquistador, I used the whole thing. I wasn't sure exactly how much. I was like, you know what, just use the whole thing. It didn't cost very much. Just use it. And I started using it. And it just worked out to the point that it pretty much, not perfectly though, but like if you look right here, every one of those is orange. And the next row, and then it's almost as if the rows, so this one changes, purple, 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 and then it's, what is that, yellow or green? See, it's not perfectly lined up, and it's not going to be. But it does allow that, made out of one solid cord, one long cord, it allows it to be a multicolored thing. And this right here, my wife, women in general, my wife, she's like, yeah, I don't like them big wide bracelets. I don't want no big wide bracelet. With that one, she loves it. This is her favorite bracelet that I've made her, is this one. The fact that it's so bright and pretty and it got all them rainbow colors, it'll pretty much match anything. That overrides the fact that it's too wide and manly. You see what I'm saying? And I put hers on a old pink buckle. You know, I don't have any of them metal. The buckles I normally use, I don't have any in any colors. Well, I didn't. But I ordered some of this. It's pastel. And it's even more pastel than this, even softer than this. Now, it's not in the box. It's coming from somewhere else. It's supposed to be here today. It hasn't got here yet. But, whatever. I did order some buckles that I'm going to use to make some of these. I got to make 2 of these for a customer. One in the neon and one in the pastel. And I'm going to put them on some of these buckles I've got. Right? Okay. But I figured I'd show you all this so you can see what's in the box, what I ordered. I give you the context of why I ordered what I did. Okay, now that's it. Let's get all this out of the way. Now, I did order, most of what I've got is buckles and some of those little flower slider beads I showed. But I do have some cord. And I'll give you an update on something. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. I ordered some of these. I had one. I showed it to you last week, right? Now, this is a 20 millimeter or a 3/4 inch equivalent. It was a buckle like this, which is kind of it's silver or gray, whatever, but it's kind of a matte finish. It's not shiny chrome. I'll get there in a second. And the one I had that I got off of, I think it was Amazon. That's got to be where I ordered it from, because I only had 2 of them. And normally when you order these kind of tactical buckles off of Amazon, you order them in a 2-pack. And it, you know, whatever. But the little rivets, the little circle rivets, they were silver. And the little release tabs on the side, they were more of a brass looking finish, right? And I didn't like that. I wanted it a solid color. So I saw these at Paracord EU. And I ordered 5 of the 15 millimeter, 5/8 inch, and 5 of the 20 millimeter, 3/4 inch. Well, when I got them last week and I opened the box up, y'all, right there on camera, I opened the box up and I'm like, okay, something's not right. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can explain this, because since then, I've been in communication with them. Now, this, me being in communication with them about these buckles has nothing to do with what I spoke of earlier. 2 opportunities. That's not this. That has nothing to do with that. This was me trying to find out what was going on with these buckles. Okay, on their website, they have multiple buckles in multiple finishes, meaning decoding what they actually look like, and then in multiple sizes. Now, a lot of them are this standard shape and look here, but then they have some that are a little different, right? But no worries. When it comes to these silver ones like this, they've got some that are, like I said, both 15 millimeter and 20 millimeter, right? They have, in both sizes, they have silver, and then they have shiny silver, correct? Okay, to me, that implies there's a difference between those buckles. So what I ordered last week were silver. 15 millimeter silver and 15 millimeter or 20 millimeter silver. So what shows up is this. Now, I'll be honest, this was the first time I have ever ordered these, right? Okay. Now, like I said, first time I ever ordered, didn't quite know what I was going to get, but I ordered them to see. Like I always say, I like to get it in hand, see what the product looks like, test it out, and all that. And if I like it, and if I can use it, I'll order more. But this is what I get. What I ordered, okay, what I ordered, 15 millimeter silver and 20 millimeter silver. Now, it doesn't matter if it's shiny or not shiny or nothing. They're both supposed to be silver. Or look at it this way. They're both supposed to be the same coating, the same finish. Do they look the same? Now, I know the sizes are different. No, the finishes are not the same. Okay, like I said, I've never ordered them before. But, to me, that is chrome. That would be what I would call shiny silver. This is what I would call silver. Right? That makes sense to me. So no matter what you call it, I ordered 15 millimeter, 20 millimeter with the same finish. What I get is 15 millimeter and 20 millimeter with different finishes. And I'm like, something's not right. So I go back and I look on the website and I look and I make sure what I ordered was correct. I didn't accidentally order the wrong thing. Everything's right. And I'm like, well, what's going on? So when I go back on there, by the time I get back to the website and I look, the 15 millimeter buckles of the shiny silver says out of stock. But the 15 millimeter silver were in stock. So I'm like, okay, so that means if I order them, you can't. And my first thought was, I ordered the wrong ones. And I realized I didn't. I said, okay, somebody packaged my order wrong. That was, natural. I can see how it would happen. You just go back there and you're looking at the packing slip and you're like, okay, yeah, and you grab the wrong ones. It can happen. No problem. But I was like, okay, well, this time they're out of the shiny silver. I said, so they can't send me those by mistake. So I ordered some. And I put a note in the comments of the order. And they got in touch with me, which is great. They want to clarify whatever. And I explained to them the situation. I said, look, last week I ordered 5 of these and 5 of these. And I said, what I ended up getting was silver, and these would look more like shiny silver. I said, I don't care. 5 of them, no problem. I don't want a refund. I don't want a replacement. I ain't worried about it. I said, I just don't want this week for that, whatever mistake happened, I don't want it to happen this time. I want 15 millimeter buckles with that finish on them. And I said, it seems to me, and we back and forth a minute, because I think maybe there was a language barrier in communication, right? English, Dutch. I think we were having a problem communicating simply because 2 different languages. No problem, no problem. I mean, you gotta have some patience to work with that. But they finally realized what I was trying to say. And I told them, I said, I don't care what I ordered. I said, I want this finish on a 15 millimeter buckle, because she came back and she said, what I have is very pretty. It's shiny silver, whatever. And I'm thinking, are you calling it shiny silver, or are you saying shiny silver because that's what the product is labeled as? Either way, it doesn't matter. And I told her, I said, that's not what I want. I do not want that. I said, I ordered silver. I said, not shiny silver. And I told her, I said, I think what the issue is you have it labeled wrong on your website. Because I started looking at it, this is my mind and the way I think. I started looking at it and it dawned on me, that's what the problem is. Because if they, according to their website, they are out of the shiny silver buckles, how can she have one in her hand taking a picture to send me via email and say, this is what they look like, and this is shiny silver, if the shiny silver is out of stock? The only logical deduction from all that is they've got it labeled on their site wrong. What they have labeled as silver 15 millimeter is actually like the product number for this buckle, which is shiny silver. So when it says the shiny silver is out, what it's actually saying is that the silver was out. And it dawned on me, and I'm like, and that's when I told her, I said, I think the issue is this. I said, I think you've got them. I said, I think you've got this one and the other 15 millimeter. You got them swapped out, labeled, pictures wrong. Something's wrong with the site, the website. She finally come back and she said, you are correct. She said, it is mislabeled. She said, thank you for pointing that out. I said, no problem, no problem, no problem. I said, now that we got that dealt with, I said, this is what I want. She said, we don't have any of them. She said, that's all we got. I said, okay, no problem. Just send me the 15 millimeter black ones. And I gave her the actual product number, so because I got quite a few different black 15 millimeters, and I want to make sure I didn't get the wrong ones. So we're gonna see if I got the right ones. But hopefully they'll get some 15 millimeter with this finish in stock, because I personally do not like these. These are so easily scratched. This thing has been sitting on my desk on top of this piece of paper since last week, and it's got scratches on it already, and I haven't done anything with it. It's just I don't like these buckles, these chrome shiny ones. They look great. If you like that, they look great, but they scratch so easy. Now, granted, they scratch too, but not as easy. But anyway, I know I talk long-winded, but I think I had to sit there and explain that to my wife. I said, no matter whether it's silver or shiny silver, it doesn't matter. I said, they're both labeled as the same finish. I said, is that the same finish? She said, no. I said, they have shiny silver and silver. She said, that looks like shiny silver and that looks silver. I said, exactly. I said, something's wrong somewhere. And I checked in and did it. And I dawned on me, it's got to be the website's labeled wrong. And after back and forth via email, they finally realized, you're right, it is labeled wrong. Hopefully they get it fixed. We're going to see. We're going to see. I checked it like a day or two later, and it was still, everything looked the same. So all the product numbers and everything, nothing had changed. So we're going to see. Okay, now with all that said, let me open the package, and we'll get to it. But dude, you done talked for an hour. Yeah, but like I said, I got a lot going on. Oh, I got something else I want to talk about. I'll do another video on that, because I done talked for so long. Dude, oh, I see. This is the first time I've had a box open up like this from them. This one actually has, here, I'll show you. If I can get into it. Ooh. Okay. Now, let's close my knife and put it back up so I don't chop my toe off, or drop it and chop my toe off, or, you know, something. Okay. There's my invoice. It's a big order. Now let's just see if they've got any kind of correction on here. Okay. Yeah. It's still on the invoice as 15 millimeter silver buckle. Which they were, which that's fine. I don't care what's on here. I want to see what's actually in the box. I told them, I said, if you don't have that, I said, just give me the black ones, and I gave you the actual product number. So we're going to see if they got it right. Okay. What's the flyer? The contest giveaway, Solomon Belly Bar. I entered that. It said you can enter 3 times this month. I posted 3 pictures of it. I don't know. Do I have? I don't remember. I've got one of them around here somewhere. You know, I don't. I think I had one of them last week, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't matter. Let me see. got so many bracelets around here, I can't remember. And I did a bulk order too. Oh, here's one of them right here. There's that one. Where's the other one? Did I sell it? It's got to be in this box somewhere. I just don't see it. Guess it doesn't matter. I'll show you this one now. Here's one of them I entered. This is this is Indago Night. What did he say? Did he say Indago? Yeah. Technically, that's what I ordered, and that's what they gave me. They have since went, again, another mistake on a website. They had just started selling this color, Paracord Galaxy, and they labeled it as Royal Blue / Indago, Indago, Indago Night. And I'm like, what? And I went and looked up Indago to see what it meant. I'm like, yeah, I don't think, I'm like, that's supposed to be indigo. That makes more sense. When I ordered it, the invoice says Indago Night. I've got it over there to prove it. I actually had to show it to my wife. And she's like, nah. You go on the website now and it says indigo. They have since corrected. Well, I didn't point that out. I'm just like, no big deal. But I just thought it was funny. But technically, that's called Indago Night. Got an invoice I can prove it to you. My wife's like, no, it's indigo. I said, I know that. But they made a mistake when they first entered it into the computer. But it's Indigo Night and Burgundy. And it's a 4-strand cobra belly. 2 of indigo and 2 of burgundy. And I put on a little brass buckle. I had one that was, I thought, I had it on last week, I think. It was black, colonial blue, and smoke gray. That one. And one of the olive drab gold and maroon one, I think I had it on last week also. But I put all that in, I entered that in the contest. Okay, now. I got a box full of goodies. You Paracord addict, eat your heart out. Okay, let's see what we got going on first. I'm going to take the box out of the way. A lot of it plastic buckles. I was kind of getting low on some plastic buckles, and I'll go ahead and tell you, and some brown. I don't have any brown. These are brown. Don't have any brown buckles. These are, what are these, 5/8 inch? All of them are 5/8 inch. Don't have any brown ones. Don't have a lot of use for brown. Don't use brown a lot. But every now and then I was like, you know what? If I'm going to order some, I might as well order some brown ones. But the rest of them, I think, are restocks. What is this? Red and scarlet red and yellow, and I believe these are colonial blue. I'd have to look on the invoice. Red, colonial blue, yellow, brown, and scarlet red. There should be some. Some electric blue. I don't have any of these, so I figured I'd order some. I usually use, I got midnight blue, I got colonial blue, and I got some navy blue. I don't really like the navy blue because they just look to me like faded midnight blue. But I ordered some just to get in hand and see what they are. But these things don't cost very much, right? But I ordered some electric blue just to kind of get them in hand to see what they look like. Now I got some more color choices because I'm going to tell you, I don't charge anybody anything for the buckles, you know. But if you get one of these metal buckles, yeah, you're getting charged for that because they cost more. Now, they don't cost that much at where I get them because I buy them in bulk, but they still cost more than this. You see what I'm saying? So, most people, they see my work and they're always like, where you get the buckles? Where you get the buckles? They look so good. They're so classy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you can get them here, 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 you know? And they're like, they're so expensive. I'm like, well, you know, you can buy them in bulk at Paracord EU and they don't cost as much if you buy enough of them. But, you know, you have a customer and they're like, how much? I tell them and I'm saying, it's plus this for the buckle. Oh, you charging me for the buckle? I'm like, yeah. I said, I can put it on a plastic buckle and there won't be no extra charge. It'll be this much. Oh, okay. Well, just give me a plastic buckle. I'm like, okay. Now, when you get it and you don't like the way it looks, and you're like, well, this doesn't look like the other one. It's not as classy because you ordered a plastic buckle. Okay, but then, I think that's all of the buckles. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, let me mark this off. Electric blue, red, colonial blue, yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1. Oh, and scarlet. Yeah, all those are done. Get those off. Okay, now, let's see. Slider beads. These are, they should be fuchsia and turquoise. Yes, that's what that is. Fuchsia. I didn't have. Oh yeah, did I have fuchsia? I don't remember if I had fuchsia or not. Maybe I did. I don't remember if I had any or not. But these are turquoise. And turquoise, women love the turquoise. Turquoise and black and turquoise looks great. But my wife likes those. So I may use some more for her, but I got them because something that's going on. Can't go into details. Something that's going on. And the fuchsia ones, right? And then I ordered, hey, it looks like they put them all in separate bags, which that's fine. Because I'm going to have to separate them out anyway. Yeah, don't tell me they're already nicked. I see pink paint stuck to the inside of the baggie. So that most likely tells me one of them's got a nick on a chip in the finish. That's alright though. I mean, it happens, it happens. It's called shrink. But these are pink and I guess it's blue is what it comes out to. Is what they label it as. Let's see. There's blue and there's pink. Yeah, that's got to be what that is. And there should be some more of those in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Yellow and orange. I already showed you what they look like and the shape and all that. But yellow and orange. Let's see. There's the orange. The yellow's over here. Okay, now there should be. Where's that? Oh. Oh, here they are right here. This is the ones I looked for. Black and white. Now, I didn't have any of these. I know for a fact I did not have any of these. Because, to me, I'm thinking, women like bright colors. You know, typically, I hate using the word stereotypically. But, you know, typically, normally, women want bright colors, not black. Unless, you know, you're like goth or emo or something like that, then yeah, you know, you might like one. But, you know, I didn't ever have any. But I ordered some. Same thing, it's just black and these are white. Alright. Alright, let's mark those off. Where's it at? There's white and there's black. That should be all in bead, all the slider beads. Slider bead flower, yes. If I'm not mistaken, I ordered them. So now I should, if I did my math correct, I should have 10 of every color. Now, that's including the ones I already showed you I had. You see what I'm saying? So these and those means I got 10 of every one of those colors. And they're going to get put in my new storage units. That's something else I bought this week. I ain't going to show y'all that. I got storage units behind me. Slider, actually nice drawers. Slider storage drawers. Lowe's. They're quality, you know, they're expensive, but they're quality. It ain't like this cheap stuff you get at Walmart. These are, you know, whatever. And that's what I put all my buckles and all that in. Now my plastic ones, I just throw them in the thing because they don't get scratched. But the metal ones, with the finishes, and the ones I'm about to show you, those I put in those drawers. Right? Makes sense? That way they don't get damaged. Because I don't move my stuff. I know some people do like craft shows and things like that. I don't do that. All my stuff stays here. Now, I have the stuff I've ordered is that stackable stuff that can clip together, and you can put it on one of those little hand truck type things, and it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Stackable. It's not stackable. You know what I'm saying. They got all the different, this toolbox and this shape toolbox and that model of toolbox and this drawer unit, and all of it's just made by the same company, yet they all stack on top of each other, and they kind of lock together, so you can put it on a cart like a, and take it with you. I have bought that if I ever do craft shows and things like that. I can take it. I can make it portable. But as of right now, I don't do that. Okay, there's that. Okay. Now, I bought some more of these beads too. The ones I showed you on this turquoise buckle here. I bought some more of the turquoise, and then they got some that are red. I don't think I got as many red. I got more of the turquoise than I did the red. I haven't made anything with the red ones yet. And I still got a few of those over there in my inventory, but I was like, let me go ahead and order some. Because of, Okay, let's see. Now, okay, they got them right. They didn't have the silver, not shiny silver, but silver. They didn't have them in 15 millimeter. So I told them, I said, just send me the black ones that I normally get. Gave them the part number, and bam, there they are. That's what that is. Now, I'm going to assume that's the way they do it. They put you one so you can see, and then the rest of them they wrap up. And when I put them in my storage container, I keep them wrapped up. Until I need one, I go take it out. Now, well, sometimes I unwrap them and look at them and make sure they're good to go. But I've gotten to the point now where they're pretty trustworthy. So, yeah. I don't know how many's in there. I forget how many I ordered. 15 of them, I think is what it was. There's 15 of those. I use these things like, I use these like most rednecks go through beer. I don't drink beer. I don't drink. But here in the South, rednecks drink beer. But I go through these things like redneck and drink a beer. Okay, now, let's see, what is this? I got these. Okay, I'm going to show you these. This is the first time I've ordered these. They've got some buckles that are, okay. Yeah. Okay. It's brown. Right? But it's paint. It's not one of the silicone buckles I've talked about. Right? The silicone ones you can get in colors. There are some that are the painted finish that are colored. And this is one of them. I've never ordered it. Brown. Don't have a lot of use for brown. But this, I'll tell you, I had a gentleman who owns a jewelry store. I don't know if I've already said that or not, but I'll tell you, a gentleman that owns a jewelry store, he got in touch with me. And he wants, I ain't gonna go into the details, but basically he's gonna sell my stuff in his shop. And I've made him some display models. I sent him like a bulk order of a bunch of stuff that I had made. I told him, I said, everything in this box I can recreate to custom fit a person's wrist. He said, okay. And the guy's a jewelry maker, so he knows. And he said, okay, so I could just take an order, measure a wrist, and tell you. I'm like, yeah. And I'll make it. I said, now, it might take me, depending how much I got going on or whatever. And I said, then I'll mail it to you. He said, yeah, that'll work. But he expressed interest in brown, some brown type stuff. So I went ahead and bought some buckles. But I've already The 2 of these that I'm making are for him. They're going to be display models. Pastel and neon, pastel rainbow and neon rainbow, and I'm going to put them on some of these special buckles I got, which I'm getting to. But I ordered some of these brown ones, like this. I don't think you can, I don't know if you can get the brown ones in the small size or not, in the 15 millimeter or not. I don't remember. I ordered so much I can't remember everything. That's why I'm gonna have to sit down brown. No. Okay, yeah, it's right here. I ordered 15 millimeter brown buckle, 20 millimeter brown buckle. Those are the 20 millimeters. Okay, there's that. So there should be some brown ones in here. That must be what this, yeah, that's what this is right here. It's the same thing. They're painted. They're brown, but they're 15 millimeter or 5/8 inch. Now, don't use these very often because I don't have very many browns. Got a lot of greens, a lot of blues, a lot of grays, and a lot of reds. But I mostly use the grays, and I got to the point where there's only a few greens out of like the 10 different shades of green, probably more than that I have. There's only like 3 or 4 that I use on a regular basis. Now, when it comes to the blues, Midnight Blue, that's one of my, that and black are my 2 favorite colors to use. And my collector, those are the colors he likes. He don't like brown. He's already told me, he said, don't like brown, I don't like orange. I'm like, okay. So I'm always joking with him. Like this one. I said, yeah, man, I made this one for you. He said, what? I said, no, I'm just messing with you. I said, I'm going to make you some in brown and orange. No. But, yeah, there's those. We can mark those off. I just expanded. I mean, I made a little extra money, so I figured I'd order and add some stuff to my inventory. That way, I can branch out in some of my color choices and stuff. People tell me all the time, and you know, I'm only repeating what people say. People say, man, you choose some of the best colors. Well, I've kind of learned what people like, and I stick with it. I do experiment. Where are these buckles at over here? 15 millimeter, there we go. I do experiment with buckles. I mean, with colors. Okay, so that's all that. Yeah, here's the, like I said, the black ones. Okay, now, here's the fun part. This, for the women. Yellow. Now, they're not labeled as pastel, and I wouldn't even really call this one a pastel. But if you go to these websites, this Paracord EU, any of them, and you look to see if they have pastel colors, they don't really have a pastel yellow. You see what I'm saying? Yellow is yellow. I mean, I guess you could get like a faded looking real light, not bright, but light, if it makes sense. Basically, a yellow that has a lot of tint in it. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, that means you take the hue, the color of yellow, and you add white to it, and it lightens it up. It's called tinting. You do it the other side of the spectrum. If you take a color and you add black to it, that's called shading. It gets darker. And then toning is when you add gray to it. Makes sense? Color theory. That $75,000 art degree that I didn't get because I don't have one is paying off. Now, I just studied on my own and learned some of this stuff. But there's no really pastel yellow. I guess you can tint it a little bit and lighten it up, but it's just yellow. I mean, but I would call it pastel. Like I said, they're not labeled as pastel, and I've never seen a pastel yellow paracord on any site. Now, they have pastel purple, pastel pink, pastel blue, all these kind of things, but you don't ever see pastel yellow. Make sense? Lemonade yellow, canary yellow, I don't know, whatever colors you come up with. Popcorn yellow, I don't know. But, okay, there's that. Now, here's the one. This one right here. This is green. Not army green, but just green. But to me, it's not labeled as it, but it looks like a pastel green. It's very light. Not bright, it's light. It looks like it's been tinted. But it hadn't been tinted, it's just solid green. See what I'm saying? But these buckles are going to go great with these bracelets, giving a customer the choice. Okay, you want a pastel bracelet, what color buckle you want? Pastel color. Right? Now, let's see, here's one. Pastel blue. It's actually just blue. It's not pastel blue. On their site, they have blue, and then they have navy blue. And you've seen me use those. Navy blue. On a conquistador, made in midnight blue, that I've stitched in silver, gray, and gold. It doesn't look all that great. Look at it like that, it looks alright, but the stitching's not completely lined up. But it's not bad, it's not bad. That's the first time I ever tried to stitch one of these things, which I've never seen anybody do stitching. But you know what I mean? If I can, I'm going to try to stitch it. I did. But that's what I'm showing you. That's the navy blue, and that's the blue. Not pastel blue, it's just blue, but if you ask me, that's pastel blue. Right? Okay. Then I got pink. I got some of every one of these colors like this. This is what I'm calling the pastel colors. And then, finally, purple. Women love the purple. Okay, that's all that. Now, the rest of it should be cordage. And we're going to just go through this. Let's see what have I got. This is goldenrod. And the reason I ordered this, like I've said, I have no problem. Some people, okay, here you go. Some people are like, you often hear, I'm often asked, and I just see people ask, which one's better, nylon paracord or polyester paracord? You're thinking about it the wrong way. The question is not which one is better. The goal is to learn to work with both of them. Make sense? But with that said, I prefer nylon. Now, when it comes to like 550, it doesn't matter. I can work with either one. I would prefer it to be nylon, but if it's polyester, no problem. I can make a bracelet that is both has nylon cord in it and polyester cord. The black is nylon, the dark turquoise is polyester. And I can make some of these complex looking ones with the two types. It doesn't bother me. But when it comes to microcord, I strongly prefer actual cord that's made out of nylon. Because the stuff that's made out of polyester does not look like cord. I don't like the way it looks. But this is goldenrod, and it's nylon compared to the nylon or the goldenrod I have, which is polyester. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to, can you see the difference? This is polyester. This is nylon, but they're both goldenrod. Can you see the difference in the texture of the cord? That's what I'm talking about. That is what I don't like. That doesn't look like cordage. Unless you get real close on it, it just looks like one big long string of plastic. which is what polyester and nylon is. If you didn't know that, it's a form of, it's plastic, it's synthetic, it's man-made. It's not a natural fiber. But that looks more like actual cordage. It has individual threads making up the cord. That does, but it just doesn't look like it. And I just don't like the way it looks. I don't like it. I can work with it, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I've slowly been trying to find any of the cords, no matter what size, but especially micro, that I have this polyester. I've been trying to find the equivalent color in nylon. Paracord EU has nylon, goldenrod in nylon. That's why I got that. But I also, where's it at? Also needed a refill of goldenrod anyway, which this is nylon. Right? So I figured, why not just go ahead and order this too? That way you got them both. Okay, there's that. Okay, let's see. What is this one? Yeah, this is silver gray. Now I'm going to look at this. Let's see. I've got a bracelet over here. This is what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm trying to... Where's it at? Right here. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. You know, I told you, I said, I'm trying to find... I prefer nylon. No problem. I can work with polyester. But if I can find the polyester micro, yes. Right? But I've been looking around. One of these colors I don't use often, but it goes with this silver. Here's the buckle I was talking about. It's got the silver tabs, the silver rivets, and the brass tabs, right? Okay, this cord on the side is platinum. That's what it's called. It's polyester. I was trying to find an equivalent color at Paracord EU. Hang on. In Paracord EU of a nylon, but the same color, perhaps named something different. I think it did. It's called silver gray. You probably get this in the States. I think I looked and I couldn't find anybody that had silver gray. I've gotten silver gray nylon microcord, but I don't know, maybe they did. You know, it doesn't matter. I figure if I'm going to order this stuff, I might as well, since I'm going to get these buckles that I can only get from Paracord EU, I might as well order all this stuff from Paracord EU too, right? Instead of breaking my order up, shipping here, shipping there, just put it all on this. Silver gray, and it's nylon. Not quite the same, not quite as dark. That's alright though. I'll use it. I'll probably start using that in place of this, because I don't have very much of this anyway left. Yeah, I probably got enough to maybe do a bracelet or two, depending on how much length I need. Silver gray. I'm going to see if I can't keep looking and find something a little bit darker than this. I think I've got a Paracord EU catalog. You can go on their website, but, you know, they might have it. You type in gray, and it's going to show you all the different variations of gray. Well, maybe it's not labeled as gray. Maybe it's labeled as platinum. And it won't show up in the search results, which I haven't looked for platinum. They don't have any such color there. So, you know what I'm saying? It might be same color, dark turquoise or teal. They're the same color. They're just labeled different. You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. I'm looking. That'll get used, most definitely. Okay, let's put that one over here. All right, let's see. What's next? This is simply a reload, a refill. Acid purple microcord. And if I'm not mistaken, this is... Because I'll tell you this. If you don't know this, you can get microcord. Some sites here in America tell you what size it is. Some don't. You can order it. Paracord EU, they tell you. If you look at the description, they tell you. they've got, I want to say here in America, you got 1.18 millimeters, and then you have, what is it, 1.2 millimeters? But at Paracord EU, they've got 1.2, 1.4, and I think they got some 1.5 millimeters, the diameter of the cord. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the number of threads that are actually making up that cord are the same. It's just the diameter of the cord. And you know, you really can't tell the difference unless you got one and you know, side by side comparison. I can anyway. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who've been doing this longer than I have, and they can. But this is simply a refill of acid purple because I'm getting low on it, and I've been using a lot of acid purple micro cord to do some stitching, and acid purple 550, which I'm getting low on that also. And I like to have it. I like to have one on deck before I run out. I don't ever like to run out of cord color because painter can't paint with no paint. Paracordologist cannot paracord without paracord. Or should I say, a paracorder can't paracord without paracord. That makes it even more confusing, right? So there's that. Okay, now the rest of this is pastel colors. And I'm not mistaken, let me say, I know I've been talking for a while, but I got a lot of stuff. And there's a lot more I wanted to talk about, but I'm not going to. Let me look at this email. Let's see, where's it at? Where is it? Okay, they got an email actually. I'm on you know, all these Paracord supply places. You get an account with them, and you can save stuff to your wish list or whatever. That puts you on the mailing list. Well, I get one from Paracord EU, and it was in the email. And that's not why I bought this. I went on there. I knew they had it, but the email says, brighten up your creations with new pastel Paracord colors. They finally arrived. We've added 6 new pastel colors to our pastel range. Okay, so apparently they already had some, but I don't have any pastel colors, right? And my wife loves that stuff, and women love that stuff, and jewelry stores sells to women, and they love that stuff, right? So I told my wife I was going to order some anyway from my wife. I told my wife, I said, pick 2 of these colors. She picked 2. And then I seen one that I wanted. And I was like, And then all this come about, you know, because when I place an order, it might take me a day or 2 or 3. I'll start putting stuff in the cart, and I'll go back and look, take it out, adjust, think about it over the next couple of days. What can I do with that? Should I get this? And, you know, I'm an engineer brain. I think, constantly thinking about stuff. But when all this happened, I said, you know what? Just order some of these pastel colors. You don't have any. Just order some, and you'll get them in your inventory. Use them, don't use them, but you can make stuff. Your wife, if nothing else, your wife will love them, right? So I ordered some pastel colors. And this is not all the ones they have. And this is, I don't know. No. Okay, it says they got 6 new colors. 1, 2, 3 of those new colors I've ordered. Not knowing that, well, yeah, I guess I did know because it says on the site. But I just ordered. Like I said, I realized the email after I ordered all this stuff. But this is, let me make sure. Let me see. Goldenrod, silver wrap, no, that's black. Silver bead oval, turquoise red, acid purple. Okay, everything on here is accounted for. Bam. Okay, now this right here, let's see. Blue silicone buckle, purple silicone, pink silicone, yellow silicone, green silicone, gold microcord. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, y'all gave me extra cord I didn't order. No, it's on here. It's on this first sheet. It's on this first sheet. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. Let me make sure. Let's just go down the list. This was the one my wife chose. Pastel. No, I got that one. Mint blue. That's the one my wife wanted. That's one of them. Mint blue. Now on camera, it looks really blue. It looks baby blue on camera, but in my hand, it's got a little bit of a green to it. It's kind of a mix between green and blue, but it's real light mint, as they say. But that looks good. No problem. I can definitely use that. That's the color she wanted. And what was the other one she wanted? Okay. This one is called, this is the other one, my wife. I let her look at the website she chose for herself. Not that she necessarily wants to use these two colors together, but these two colors to be in my inventory. This one is called Pearl Lilac. It looks like a lilac or a lavender, but it's very, very tinted. Very, very soft pastel look. Now, what I say, lilac, okay, I've got, this is regular lilac nylon microcord. This is pearl lilac. Right? It's the same, basically it's the same hue, meaning the original color. It's just been tinted to the point of being pastel, making it very light, not bright. There's a difference. Light. I've got a lavender, but it's in 275 over there, I think is what it is, lavender. But that's another pastel. Okay. Then, what is this one? Pearl lilac. This is pastel yellow, which I guess all this talk about not being a pastel. This is the only place I've ever seen any kind of pastel yellow. I don't think any place in the States has it. I mean, it almost looks white, but it's yellow. It's yellow. My naked eye, it's yellow. But it's very, very soft, very light. Oof. Those two look good. Those two look good. Red and purple and yellow, or purple and gold. Okay, there's your purple and gold in pastel. Don't look so good that way. No, it's not bad though. Okay, now I got two more. This one is, what is this one? This one is pastel blue, and the jewelry store guy, he said something. He just mentioned it. And I told him, he said, have you got pastel blue? Or he said, get that pastel blue. I said, it's already in the cart, my friend. So I got this one, pastel blue, which is more of a blue. One of their new colors is Dewdrop Green. And see, on camera, those look almost the same. But in real life, this is blue, and that's got more of a green to it. That Dewdrop Green, it's even greener, but it's a pastel look. Very, very tinted, very light color. Okay, now the last one. This is the one I personally wanted, which I'm not sure why they call it this. I guess, but this is blood orange. It's just called blood orange. It's not. It's in the pastel section of their site, but it's not. It doesn't. It's not like blue pastel, yellow pastel. It's just blood orange. Now, I've heard of a blood orange, and the inside of a blood orange is freaking dark red, almost maroon. And I don't think the outside of a blood orange looks like this, so I'm like, why do they call this blood orange? I don't know. You got an idea? Put it in the comments below. Blood orange. But that's the one I wanted. Those two look really good together. Orange and yellow always look good together. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Thing is, with pastel colors, because the hue has been softened so much by the tinting, if you will. I mean, I'm sure they don't do all that, but you can pretty much take any pastel colors and they will go together. You know, they all kind of go together because none of them are so overpowering that it overpowers. You know, this hue doesn't overpower that hue, or this color doesn't overpower that color, because they're all tinted and they're all so light. Right? But that's all I got in the box. Wow, that's a lot of stuff, right? Okay, now, I know I've been talking for a while, but there's some other stuff I was going to talk about. That, you know, me, I get to talking about stuff, and I just turn the camera on and start talking. And, I had a lot of stuff. Like I said, we're going to see. Like I said, I had a gentleman from a jewelry store get in touch with me. And I've already made, you know, I sold him a bulk sale of some stuff I've made in the past. And he's individually picked a few things. And then he's come back, you know, and knowing me, I'm the salesman. I sent him a picture. I said, women love this. He said, dude, make me some. I said, well, what color? And I told him this and that. He said, I want one of each. Make me one of each display models. I said, I'll put them on a pink buckle. And I was like, I thought to myself, that gives me a reason to order these pastel buckles, which I've been wanting to from my wife. I guess that means I'm going to have to start charging my wife for these bracelets. Oh. But, so, yeah, it was a reason for me to order some of this stuff that I've been wanting to order, some of these, and some of these pastel colors. I've been wanting to order them, but I didn't really have a reason, because most of my normal customers don't like them. And I've gotten a request or two for like baby blue, and I've used it, but that's not really a pastel. But I've never had a specific request for pastel colors themselves. But I know my wife likes them, and I've decided. I told her, I said, okay, I'm gonna start collecting the pastel colors in my inventory. I said, pick 2 of them. She said, that one and that one. I said, okay, I'll get them. I ended up ordering a couple of more. But when I said, there's something else I want to talk about, but I'm not going to do it now. I know this video's long, and I apologize for those. I know some of you guys out there, some of you weavers, guys, gals, folks, weavers. I know some of you weavers out there actually watch these videos, and I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. But I bought something. Like I said, I ordered. What did it do? I ordered some cord like this, but it's even a softer, lighter than this. It's labeled as pastel. This is just, I don't even think this has a color on it. Got some really small writing. I don't see anything on there as to what color they would call this. But the stuff I ordered, this is middle of the road between that. here's the neon rainbow, and here's this, and then the bright neon, middle of the road Walmart stuff, and then the stuff I've got coming, which should be here today sometime, is pastel rainbow, and it's even lighter and softer than this, right? But when I get that, I'll probably do another video more so, because that's the only thing I ordered there. Well, no, I ordered a couple of plastic buckles from them also, I think. I ordered some, what are they? Orange, I think is what it is. Orange buckles I ordered from them, because I don't have any actual orange. I have a red orange. And I looked at that website, and I looked at this, and I was like, well, they don't look the same color. I said, man, these things are cheap. Just order you some and get them in hand. But anyway, I got some pastel rainbow and some orange, not red orange, buckles coming. And when I get that, I'll probably do another one of these videos. It may be tomorrow before I actually make it. And when I get it uploaded, I couldn't tell you. I got a full week. But, when I do that, I've got something else I want to talk about. I kind of talked about this before, but I bought a new tool, T-O-O-L, tool, and I just want to talk about it. Not necessarily a product review, nothing like that. Well, I guess it is a product review, if you will, but my review, if I was going to give the product itself a review, it would probably be bad. But I'm going to show you what I did to modify it. But stick around for that one. But I'm going to end this one. I know I've been talking for almost 2 hours. I appreciate you turning in and watching, tuning in and watching. I appreciate it. If you got suggestions, anything, let me ask you this. Because a lot of what I do on this right here, like I said last week, is me showing you the color I've ordered in comparison to the colors I have. For example, pastel yellow nylon compared to canary yellow nylon. Just showing you. That way you know what it looks like in comparison to what you may already have. That kind of thing. You know, it's just colors. Colors. Like I posted in one of the Facebook groups this morning. I'll tell you. First off, the line is a lyric from a song. 1992 Live. The band is called Live. The name of the song is The Beauty of Grey. Now, the song itself is about racism. So the quote is out of context, but that one line applies to choosing colors when making a weave. And it says, this is not a black and white world. But I say, no, wait a minute. Scratch it. Let me get it right. This is not a black and white world. To be alive, I say, the colors must swirl. Right? Now, like I say, it's talking about racism. Black and white. That's what that song's actually about. But that one little line, I cherry-picked it out of context, but it applies. The colors got to swirl. You got to have colors. All kind of colors. Colors. Like Ice-T said, colors. 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 Right? Gotta have colors. But anyway, with that said, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you turning in. If there's any colors that you want to know about, there you go. If there's any colors that you want to know what they actually look like. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to order them specifically for that, but I do have quite a lot of colors. So, if it's one that I have, I'll put it on camera so you can see it. Now, like I say, it's not, this camera and the lighting is not going to necessarily give you a true representation of what it's going to look like to your naked eye. But it's a color you don't have, compared to a color you do have that I also have. I can put them right here in the same lighting. You can see what they look like next to each other, right? But if there's, you know, whatever, there's a color comparison you want me to do of two different colors of paracord, let me know. Put it in the comments below. See, this is just stuff I think about. Like I say, I got an analytical engineer brain. I just sit and think and this and that, whatever. But any tutorials you want me to do, I still got a request for that one. I know I've got actually two. One from way back when I had my heart attack that I've never gotten to do, and then one I got a request for just the other day. Trying to remember the gentleman's name. I think, you know, but he requested me do a tutorial on a specific weave, and I can do it. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm gonna have to go back. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna have to go back and make one again, so I can refresh my memory and let me see. Try it. Okay. You know, that's gonna drive me. I can't remember the gentleman's name. But he asked me to do a tutorial on a specific weave. I was going to mention his name because he told me he didn't care if I mentioned it. Now I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't remember. I can't find it either. But anyway, like I say, if there's a specific tutorial you'd like me to do, and you know, figure out how to tighten that knot up and all that good stuff, and explain it to make it easier, I can't promise you anything, but I will take it under advisement. I will consider it. If it's something I already know how to do, yeah, no, most likely I can do it. But if it's something I've never done, which there's a lot of stuff out there I've never done, I can't promise you anything. Even if it's something I've done, I can't promise you that I'll get around to it because obviously I'm busy, very busy. But with that, like I say, like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon, leave a comment below. Anything, any suggestions, tips, tricks, or commentary for me, share them in the comments below. But I guess that's it. I'm done talking your ears off this week. No, today. Because like I said, there's something else I want to talk about, but I ain't going to do it in this video. This video is already too long. But I'm going to end this one like I end them all. Keep it neat, keep it clean, and keep it tight. That thing's hard as a rock. Happy weaving, folks.